Hi everyone, it's Danny. Okay, so a long time ago, one of my viewers asked me a question related to flower spikes. There's this theory on the internet that says that you shouldn't really cut a flower spike from an orchid because the orchid reabsorbs the energy from the flower spike and actually uses that energy for new growth and roots and so on. So they asked me what I think about this, and at the time I answered that I don't find any sense to that, but I will research the problem. Now this was a long time ago and I'm so sorry I didn't answer until now. This question just got lost in my questions folder and I'm so sorry. I hope you are still watching. I've actually been reminded of this quite recently by another viewer, so that's how I remember this question. Alrighty, so here's my point of view. Okay, so recently I made that video with plant circulation, basically how the sap moves around through the orchid. And we learned that we have two types of sap, the crude sap, which represents minerals absorbed from the soil that travel through the roots to the stem of the orchid towards the leaves, where it gets transformed into elaborated sap, which is high in glucids or sugars, and this is what actually feeds the plant, and from the leaf it travels to the other organs of the plant, including the flower spike. If you didn't see that video and that whole discussion, I will add an annotation right here and also in the description so you can see that. Now, because I haven't really found any scientific evidence or articles on the internet about this, whatever I'm gonna say from now on, it's just my pure logic and what I think about things. So I might be wrong, but this is just how my logic works. So alrighty, the elaborated sap travels from the leaf towards the other organs of the orchid to feed them, including flower spikes and buds. This is why you have all those droplets of sap with your orchid spike. Now, as far as I understand, the sap has a very specific trajectory. The crude sap travels from the roots to the leaves, and this is because the leaf is the kitchen, and crude sap gets transformed into elaborated sap. Now, elaborated sap has a specific trajectory from the leaf towards the other organs, and this is the only trajectory that I found described on the internet. Nowhere does it say that elaborated sap actually travels through the orchid and then back up and so on, so it doesn't do a circuit. It just travels from the leaf towards the area that needs to be fed. It doesn't really circulate. This is most probably why you have that excess sap on your flower spikes and leaves and so on, because it does not circulate and pressure can be quite big in the vessels. So keeping that in mind, I believe the orchid cannot actually reabsorb this energy, which is actually the sap. It cannot absorb it from the flower spike towards the other organs. It doesn't work like that. This is at least what I believe based on what I've seen and also based on my logic. So for this reason, when a flower spike is done blooming, I actually cut it as close to the base as possible, because I do not believe an orchid can actually reabsorb that sap into its organs. Now, there is a little exception to this. Let's think about Phalaenopsis orchids. You know that some nodes of the Phalaenopsis orchid flower spike can produce keikis. Now, keikis are fed through the elaborated sap, which travels from the leaf in the spike and actually feeds a node which develops into a keiki, and the keiki gets fed so on to grow by the elaborated sap through this trajectory. Now, when you cut the flower spike, the trajectory does not change, so I believe that it is possible that the keiki will absorb a little bit more energy and a little bit more of that sap from the remaining flower spike until it depletes it. This seems logical to me. I don't know if it happens, but it just seems logical. But certainly, I do not believe the sap circulates in the plant back and forth and so on, because I simply didn't find any evidence that it does that. So this is my explanation on cutting flower spikes and if they actually provide any energy to the remaining orchid. I believe it does not. But what do you guys think? Do you have any articles that actually suggest that sap actually recirculates back into the orchid? So let me know in the comments down below, because I did not find anything that specifies this recirculation of sap. So alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry for the delay. Sometimes I get so many messages that I really forget about some messages, but it's not intentional. So if you have questions or suggestions for me, just leave me a comment down below and I'll try to either answer you with a comment, either make a video for you. Also, if you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe. And if you just want to stay in touch, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and you have the links below. I'll see you next time. Bye!